Hello there, my name is Sriram Kollu. I am from Group 5 and our project is Backend Knowledge Software and Clustering Association Bull Discovery and Decision Tree. And today I'm going to discuss about evaluation on clustering results on Weka software. So before going into that, I'll just give a brief description about clustering and k-means algorithm because that's what I'm going to discuss in front. So cluster analysis. So clustering algorithms are unsupervised algorithms used to create groups of data with similar characteristics. It aggregates objects with similarities into groups and subgroups, leading to the partitioning of datasets. Cluster analysis is a process of partitioning of datasets into subsets. These subsets are called clusters, and the set of clusters is called clustering. So the cluster analysis is used in many applications such as image recognition, pattern recognition, web search, and security. In business intelligence, such as a grouping of customers with similar likings. And while coming to the k-means clustering, k-means clustering is the simplest clustering algorithm. In the k-clustering algorithm, the dataset is partitioned to k clusters. An objective function is used to find the quality of partition so that similar objects are in one cluster and dissimilar objects in other. In this method, the center of cluster is found to represent the cluster. Center is taken as center of cluster, which is calculated as the mean value of point within the cluster. Now, the quality of clustering is found by measuring the Euclidean distance between point and center. This distance should be the maximum. And now we'll go into the k-means clustering implementation using Weka. So for that, we need to go into Explorer and we just need to use our database .arff file, which is our Pima Indian database here. But we have already implemented that, so I'm just trying to load that model directly and just cluster that thing. So now I'll be loading that model here from my system. So I just loaded it. As you can see here, the number of iterations are 4, and this is our sum of square errors, which is 149.5 something. And we have two clusters here, which has full data of 768 and 568 as two clusters, and we have total of 9 attributes here. And I'm just going to start this model. So as you can see here, our Pima Indian database here, Pima diabetes set has got 760 instances with 9 attributes. And now we are just examining the output, right? So this is the mean value and this is standard deviation value of all the attributes. And this is the time taken to build this model, the full training data. And this is the cluster instances, which got split into 30, 26, and 44. And the lesser the instance, the more we ignore that instance. So these regarding the simple k-means clustering implementation. That's what we discussed in Weka software. And as I already mentioned here, we have used diabetes.arf as our data set in this. And we have got this square error of 149.51. And we have number of iterations as 4 and 9 attributes. And as I already said, these are the center of each cluster shown in the result window. So this is the mean and the standard deviation. We are considering this for these attributes. So as I already said, when there are very few instances, it is very difficult to make a meaningful decision. And now we're coming to visualizing the clusters. So to visualize the cluster, we just need to press right click here, and we just need to view cluster segments, and we just need to select y-axis as cluster, and we can just see how data is getting visualized here, which are clustered here. So this is how we can visualize the data. As I already said, you can play around by changing the x and axis to analyze the results actually. So you can even jitter here, and the operations in Bayesian plot are similar to the one you studied in the class of classification. So while coming to applying the hierarchical cluster. So hierarchical cluster is nothing like we can just choose a cluster here, as we earlier selected EM as our cluster. Now we are selecting hierarchical cluster, and we can just start here. Now we can see the hierarchical cluster for both the clusters. Here it got two cluster instances, and this is my evaluation on clustering results. Thank you.